Live and direct. It's Sway in the morning.
Right here on Shade 45.
I used to have a crush on her.
Okay.
And Who's the Boss? Growing up in Oakland, we all had a crush on her.
Okay.
One of the first women of not color, if you will.
Of not color. Okay. Okay. We're gonna
First
go with that.
Caucasian women I had a crush on.
Okay.
All right. And then as I got older and had a child, my daughter had a crush on her. Ain't this a trip? And we both watched Charm together. And all we did was stare at her for different reasons. She was in love with Phoebe, you know. I was in love with Alyssa, and now my daughter and I share this common bond because we now watch Mistresses together. And guess why? Because of our guest here, Alyssa Milano is here, ladies and gentlemen.
That was an amazing introduction.
Yeah, it's
so sweet. Thank you.
And it's true.
That's very sweet. Thank you.
It's very true. First of all, it's good. I didn't know you were from Brooklyn, so you're from right here. So you're home.
Yes, I'm home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does your family still stay in New York area?
My cousin and my aunt still live in Bay Ridge. My grandmother lives in Brooklyn. We moved to Staten Island when I was 4 years old and lived in Staten Island until I got Who's the Boss? And then we moved out to L.A.
So was Who's the Boss your first big break?
Yeah, I had done mostly theater before that. Like I did the play Annie. I was in the touring company for the play Annie when I was little, even littler than Who's the Boss.
Okay.
And I had done like one independent film called Old Enough when I was tiny. And then Who's the Boss?
Yeah, Who's the Boss? We had, I'm a TV buff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I've watched. That's my favorite pastime is to sit and watch like a lot of classic series like Taxi or Who's the Boss.
Taxi. Was that not the best show ever?
So working with Tony, when you start working with Tony, what was that like?
It was amazing. And mind you, when I got Who's the Boss, the only thing I really knew about it was the cute guy from Taxi was going to be playing my dad. I was 10 years old. And he was so wonderful. And, we did that show for 8 years. So I was, during the first season, I was 11. And the last season, I was 19.
You were 19.
So, that's pretty much all your formative years. And Tony and Judith and Catherine and Danny were my family. They were just lovely people and a very wonderful way to grow up in this industry.
Yeah, Tony came by the show and we kept him here. I kidnapped him.
He's fun, isn't he?
He's a fun, good guy.
He's just a cool dude.
Yeah, he's a real cool guy. You can hang out with him. Smart guy. Aged very well. Takes great care of himself.
Yes.
Very talented guy. Listening to you say this, that you pretty much grew up on TV, and it just brought to mind, because, I work at MTV, and we've been talking about Miley and all these, childhood actresses who become adults, and they have to make a transition, and you had to make a transition, it felt like, by taking on more adult roles.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not much unlike what Miley did the other night.
Yeah.
I mean, you sort of, and I don't think it's as much of a conscious decision as it is just a coming of age thing that you come into your own and really feel like you need to go in the other direction to show people that you're now an adult. I don't think what she did was wrong at all. I totally get it. I think that people are up in arms about it because it wasn't like as machine made or polished as Britney's coming out or any of those past sort of performances. It was just Miley, and she is who she is. Nobody's gonna tell her how she should do this.
Yeah.
And you gotta love her for that. She is a star. Let me tell you, there are very few people that I have been in a room with in my career where I've looked at them and I've understood what that X Factor thing is.
Yeah.
And she has got that.
She has, right.
She really does. And, her parents are very supportive. And I think that that's half the battle. You really need good parents to be there for you through all of this.
What advice would you give Miley on the backlash?
Just to continue to stay true to who you are, to continue to grow as an artist, because that's what keeps you relevant, I think. But also just always remember that none of this really matters. that the most important thing is love and family and being a good person. And I think, as long as you keep that in mind, no matter what she does, she's going to be fine.
She's going to be all right.
It's Sway in the morning, only on Shea 45.